The city wasn't just asleep. It was comatose, drowned in the icy silence of a winter rain. Ilara's breath came in ragged white plumes, each one a silent scream torn from her lungs. The pavement was a slick black mirror, reflecting the fractured neon signs that offered no solace. Her heart wasn't just pounding. It was a frantic bird beating itself to death against the cage of her ribs. She could still feel the ghost of Liam's grip on her arm, the heat of his whiskey-laced breath in her ear. "You'll never get away from me. No one wants damaged goods." A sob hitched in her throat. He was right. Who would help her? The world had closed its doors. Then she saw it. A sleek, black luxury car, idling at the curb like a panther resting in the jungle dark. Its windows were tinted impenetrably, but the faint glow of a dashboard light bled through the windshield, illuminating the silhouette of a man inside. It was a risk, a terrifying leap into the unknown, but the known behind her was a monster. Gathering the last shreds of her courage, she wrenched the passenger door open and tumbled inside, the smell of old leather and expensive cologne filling her senses. "Please," she gasped, her voice trembling as she slammed the door shut, sealing herself in this new, silent world. "Can I hide in your car? Just for a minute. He's following me." The man didn't startle. He simply turned his head, the movement slow and deliberate. The dim light carved out the sharp, unforgiving lines of his jaw and the cold, assessing glint in his eyes. He wasn't handsome. He was formidable. "Is that so?" His voice was a low rumble, like distant thunder, devoid of alarm, brimming with calm authority. Ilara hugged herself, shivering violently. "My ex. He has a temper. I didn't know where else to go." She risked a glance out the window, expecting to see Liam's enraged face peering in. The street was empty, for now. "Look at me," the man commanded, his voice soft yet leaving no room for disobedience. She turned, her eyes wide and swimming with tears. He reached into his inner jacket pocket, and for a heart-stopping moment she flinched, expecting a weapon. Instead, he produced a crisp white handkerchief, monogrammed with a single elegant letter, V. "Thank you," she whispered, taking it. The linen was impossibly soft. "My name is Ilara." "Vincenzo," he replied, his gaze never leaving her face. It was unnerving the way he looked at her, not with pity but with an intense, analytical focus, as if he were appraising a rare artifact. "This ex, what is his name?" "Liam," she stammered, unnerved by the question. "Liam Croft. Please, we don't have to involve the police. He'll just lie, and they'll believe him. He always does." A ghost of a smile, cold and sharp, touched Vincenzo's lips. "The police are rarely the solution to such vermin." He leaned back, the leather sighing beneath his weight. "You are safe now, Ilara. You have my word." His word, from a stranger. Yet the absolute certainty in his tone was a balm to her frayed nerves. For the first time in hours, she felt a flicker of safety. This man, with his quiet power and imposing presence, felt like a fortress. "Your word?" she asked, a weak, watery smile touching her lips. "You sound so sure." "I am a man of my word," he stated, his eyes drifting past her to the rearview mirror. "It is the only currency that matters in my world." Suddenly, headlights cut through the rain, spearing the interior of the car. Liam's battered sedan screeched to a halt behind them, blocking their exit. "Oh God, he's here!" Ilara cried, shrinking into the seat. Liam erupted from his car, his face a mask of drunken fury. He stormed towards them, his fists clenched. "Get out of the car, Ilara. You're coming home with me." Vincenzo didn't move. He simply pressed a button on his console. "We have a pest problem. Resolve it." Before Ilara could process his words, two large men in dark overcoats seemed to materialize from the shadows of the alley beside them. They moved with a terrifying, silent efficiency. One caught Liam's swinging arm, twisting it behind his back with a sickening crack. The other clamped a hand over his mouth, stifling his roar of pain and surprise. Ilara watched, frozen in horror, as they dragged a struggling, suddenly terrified Liam back into the alley from which they'd emerged. His eyes, wide with a new, primal fear, met hers for a split second before he disappeared into the darkness. The sounds of the struggle were muffled, brief, and then there was nothing but the steady patter of the rain. Silence descended once more, heavier and more profound than before. Vincenzo turned back to her, his expression unchanged. "He will not trouble you again." Ilara stared at him, the reality of the situation crashing down on her, the calm authority, the men who appeared from nowhere, the brutal, effortless efficiency. The handkerchief in her hand, the initial V, felt suddenly heavy, tainted. Her heart, which had been pounding from fear of Liam, now seized with a new, chilling terror. She had run from a wolf and thrown herself into a dragon's den. "Who are you?" she whispered, her voice barely audible. Vincenzo looked at her, his dark eyes holding a universe of shadows. "Most people," he said, his voice that same gentle rumble, "call me the King of Shadows." And in that moment, Ilara realized the most heartbreaking truth of all. She had escaped her prison, only to become a treasured guest in a gilded cage, forever bound by a debt to the most dangerous man she would ever know.